Okay, so thanks for scheduling this call, Kayla. I did take a look at your website and your social media. I have some thoughts, but I want you to give me a little bit more background on your business and what are some things that you've seen that's worked and some things that you've seen that hasn't worked.
So I've had the business for a little over 2 years. It started after the loss of my grandmother. Her name was Flo, so I named it after her. And ultimately, in a few years, once I get my master's and everything, it's going to expand into overall d dimensions of wellness. But right now, I focus primarily on assisted stretching. My goal is to make self-care a luxury, accessible, and affordable. So that's why I travel to people.
Okay.
Um, right now, I just restarted it because I had surgery a few months ago, so I had to take a break. Um, but right now, I'm in the process of rebuilding my network, gaining more clientele, figuring out my systems and strategies and all that fun
Okay.
stuff. In terms of what's been working, like as far as like gaining clientele, I've been going to
Yes.
network events.
Okay.
Um, Even if they're not ready to schedule a stretch then, I try to never leave a meeting without a meeting. So I set a date in the calendar to follow up with them.
Okay. You're being
Um,
proactive. I like that.
and then I will also, so let's say you lived in New Jersey, right? And you own a business. And so I found your Instagram page. And let's say you made a business post. I would go to your likes and your comments, click on people who also own businesses, follow them because I target business owners, busy professionals, and athletes, and DM them, introduce myself, figure out a way that we can connect and collaborate, and then offer them a stretch.
Okay.
So that's been working in terms of booking.
Okay. So what would you say your funnel looks like?
I don't exactly know what a funnel is.
And you booked this call?
Huh?
And you booked this call?
Well, that's what I think I mentioned that in the thing that I didn't fully know exactly like what sales funnels particularly are.
Okay, so think of your funnel as the way that people first have a connection with your brand. So the first point of contact till the first time they purchase and beyond. So all those touch points, that's what your sales funnel looks like. So at the top of your funnel, which is the awareness stage, is where you're going to these networking events and you are, creating that connection, all that kind of stuff. That is good. But also you want to ensure that you have like a process in place to allow for you to be able to do that quite seamlessly. So you want to look into using some kind of automation. Are you sending out emails? Like, are you collecting
Yes,
emails?
so I just created a Substack. I have 12 subscribers right now. I have 4 networking events coming up, so I will be collecting more emails. I foresee me being at least by 50 to 100 by the end of this week within the 4 networking events. I also will go in person and place flyers and connect with local gym owners for some physical touch points as well. Um, I would say social media is my main platform in terms of people interacting with my brand initially.
Okay.
And then I have the website, I have a client portal, I have a booking link. Um, I
Okay.
also have
So, question: what happens after they get on your email list? What happens then?
So they get a welcome email, just kind of explaining what kind of emails they'll be receiving. And then I schedule the emails in advance to be sent out. So for example, I wrote an email last night and then I scheduled it to be sent out this morning.
Okay, so you want to think long term, right? So, for instance, for myself, like emails for August are already like set, already scheduled and everything from July. So you want to think at least like 30 days out, so you're not just kind of haphazardly doing things. So that's one of the things that you're going to need to do when it comes on to that. I took a look at your website, and I'm going to let you know I'm brutally honest. There is way too much happening. There's way too much
Yeah, I'm actually
offerings.
having it be redone right now to
Right.
change.
Right. So what would be your core offerings? Because I think here's the thing, if you give people too many options, then they're not going to select anything ultimately,
Okay.
right? And that's going to prevent you from being able to generate those sales that you're looking to. So what is going to be the core offering? I know you mentioned that you said you're getting your master's. What are you getting your master's in?
Clinical counseling.
Okay. So so what's going to be the core offering for right now?
Ideally the intro stretching package.
Okay, and what does that like? I don't know what that is, so you have to tell me what
So
that
it
is.
it consists of either two 30-minute or two 50-minute stretches.
Okay.
Um, so I have individual stretching, like one-off set like prices, and then I have packages that go from two stretches to four stretches to eight stretches.
And why those numbers?
I don't know. I kind of just chose them and kind of priced around them so that way people are having a decent amount of savings. And also something that seems reasonable to book out because a lot of people are busy.
Right. So would it make sense for you to, because I mean, what can really be accomplished in two stretches? Right. So you have to think about like the results that they're going to receive, right? So I obviously this is your playground, right? This is where you dominate. So you tell me. But in my mind, I'm just thinking, okay, um, is someone going to be able to get a lot from two stretches, right? Like, would it make sense to bundle it as like 5 and 10 as opposed to two? Because then what would be the difference between them just individually booking one, two 1 hour sessions or whatever the case is, right? So
Well,
you
the
usually
the reason I offer the two stretches is because a lot of people are skeptical at the beginning. They've never really heard of assisted stretching. So the two stretches allows you to get that introduction and that experience with the idea of them then buying a package with more.
okay. So if they haven't heard about it, then that would be your due diligence to educate them on that then,
Yeah,
right?
which I do when I reach out to them.
Okay, but then when I looked at your social media, like on your Instagram, it wasn't very clear that was
Okay.
so like in your I think it's like your second pinned post, I was looking at it, and like I like that you're like you have really good camera presence, you're talking and all that stuff, but everything that you said was just it did not relate to something very specific. Like you weren't painting a very clear picture of what it is that you do and how you help them.
Okay.
So that's going to prevent you from like taking people along through your funnel.
Got it. I'm taking
Yeah.
notes,
No
sorry.
worries, no worries, no worries. If you have questions, of course, feel free to ask. Do you have your Substack up? I can take a look at.
Yeah,
Like, can you share?
I will be honest, I did just start the Substack.
That's fine. Can you? And
Um, yeah, let me just go to the first post. So far out of the 12 people, 9 people viewed the Substack.
okay, and what?
Uh,
And that was just an introductory. Okay, kind of. Okay, like it was like a
yeah,
welcome. Okay, so what kind of content and touch points need to happen beyond that?
like have I planned that out already?
Yeah, so or we could talk about it right now. Like what are because here's the thing. A lot of people think about okay, like I want to give information, but you can give people so much information and they never take action, right? So you have to think about like the buyer psychology. Where is that they are right now? Have you done enough information? Have you given them enough information for them to be informed so that they can go ahead and buy? And here's the thing, not everyone's going to buy right now, right?
Right.
So you also need to create touch points for the people who are interested but not ready to buy right now, right? Have touch points that's going to facilitate some kind of connection and a nurture points beyond that as well. So that's what you need to look at when it comes on to like your buyer psychology.
Okay. Um, so I know like my next post already is going to be like about sitting at a desk, kind of how a lot of us hold tension in our neck, hunched over, tension in the shoulders. I think a lot of people can relate to that. So that's going to be the next post. I want it to be practical, but I'll also be with the holidays coming up, offering bundles and specials and discounts. And in your opinion, should I like no. I
I'm
saw.
here. I'm anti discounts. I'm anti specials because this is
Okay.
something that you are building a business around, right? Like, because here's the thing: what happens is if you get into that space, it's you're always constantly chasing clients.
Mm.
And I've seen this happen over and over. It's like, okay, I'm gonna give them a deal, okay, but then after the deal, what happens then? Yeah, you're able to get that influx of money, but then is it something that's sustainable, right? So let me ask you this, Kayla, like how much money are you looking to make on a consistent basis in your business?
$1,000 a month.
Why?
Like, why is it so low?
Yeah.
Because I work a full-time job, I'm in school, and I only have so many hours in the week to actually stretch people.
Okay, so what if you were doing this full time?
If I was doing this full time,
Mhm.
I never thought of that.
Okay.
Because
Okay.
it's not really something that I want to do full time.
Oh, okay. So $1,000 a month. How many clients are you seeing?
Anywhere could be 10 clients. I could do more than that. I did the math and I could do 6 to 10 hours a week of stretching. So I could make more money than $1,000 a month.
Yeah, because I was to say that would even be worth your while because even to cover the cost to run the business, like even if you don't want to do this full time, this still needs to be profitable. Like this is not like a
Right.
side like you can love it, but it needs to be profitable,
Hmm.
right?
I
Like
think also as a new business owner, new-ish, and somebody who's worked, a 9 to 5, picturing a large amount of money when you're not used to having it all the time is a little difficult initially.
okay, well, you got to work on your money mindset, right? To
Yeah, I
to
know.
to to, to overcome that. So here's how I see your funnel, right? So the top of your funnel, that's where you get. So your funnel has 4 stages. So there's the awareness, there's the interest, there's the desire, and then there's going to be 5 stages. Let's call it because for your business, I think that there's going to be because it's something. It's I don't know how common it is for there to be like assisted stretching businesses. So I think for your business, it's going to be awareness, it's going to be interest, it's going to be a desire, and then they're going to make a decision. And then once they make that decision, then they're going to take action. So think of it as those 5 stages: attention, interest, desire, decision, and action, right? So at the awareness stage, this is where you're going to provide information about what you do, how you do it, why they should care, like what's in it for them, like what's the results, like don't talk about the features of it, talk about the results that they can expect to achieve once they partake in assisted stretching, right? So talking about those the results at the interest, you at the interest stage, you can be talking more details about some of those results, like paint a very clear picture of what that looks like. It could be that they're able to whatever the results are. You know
Like
what those
somebody I know, like older people to touch their toes,
right,
you know, be able to put their shoes on without pain, things like
right,
that.
right. So that's going to be for the people who are highly interested. The people who have a desire are like, okay, you know what? This might be something that I want to do. And then speaking to that desire again, doubling down on like, what it looks like day to day, like some of the small things that they don't even think about. That's the thing that you're going to be talking about the desire stage. That the decision stage is for them just to say, you know what, yes, I want to move forward, and for you to present the opportunity for them to be able to move forward and take action. So that's what
Okay,
your full funnel is going to look like.
got got it.
Any questions from you?
No, I think you're doing a great job at explaining everything, and I appreciate it.
No worries, no worries. So I'm looking back at your notes as well. So um, you mentioned, let's see, pull it up again here. You had mentioned that you're going to be um, changing the packages. So what is going to be a core package then?
So I already did change the package. I know you mentioned, right, like what's the point of people booking the introductory package, right? If it's like, what are the benefits of
Mm-hmm.
that?
Mm-hmm.
So if we're gonna look at it that way, then it would make sense to book the 4 session package because that gives them about a month if they book weekly or 2 months if they book bi-weekly to really experience the benefits. Because just like a workout program, you need 8 to 12 weeks to
So to
really
go
see the benefits. But
right,
a
right.
month gives you enough experience to be like, this is worth my while. I'm seeing some benefits. Let me move forward.
Fair enough. Okay, makes sense. Okay. So then you were saying that you had digital products as well that you were trying to push as well. What was that around?
Uh, I just made like a journal and a coloring book, just because I do promote overall wellness. And I wanted to also create some more products just for people to have, like maybe a stretching book for desk workers and stretches that you can do at home if you specifically deal with this problem. Like a lot of people have sciatic nerve problems,
Mm-hmm.
and they're like, what can I do? So here are some exercises that you can do regularly. Here's some lifestyle changes you can make, etc. So that way they have a clear guide and they're not just looking on like WebMD to look throughout the day. Also, I will say, just to answer your question before, assisted stretching is really big where I live. They
Mm-hmm.
have a lot of like chains.
Mm-hmm.
I I just only know of a few people that are actually mobile and will bring the stretch to you.
Oh, okay, 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 makes sense. And what's the average cost per transaction for a client? So how much is the average client spending with you? Because I just really want you to double down on the revenue that you're generating. Like I want you to be looking at this as a real business and something that can also be profitable. Because as you grow and scale it, it's going to require that you have the resources to be able to cover that as well, right? And you want to make money from it. There's no point in just like doing it for fun and it only making you a little bit of money.
Right, because especially when I hire another stretch specialist, I'm gonna want a portion of that and for it to make sense to pay them well, etc.
Right.
I would say because there's a travel fee and almost nobody that books near me lives near me. Um, I would say people are spending anywhere between 100 to 150
Per session.
per session.
Okay. Okay. And what's your travel fee? Is that included in that?
$30. So
On
it's on
okay.
top of the stretch or the package.
So would it make sense to have a package where there's like 5 sessions and um the travel fee would kind of be pumped if it's within like, I don't know, 20 minutes? I mean, how far are people from you? Are they like,
After 30 minutes, I start charging the travel fee.
oh, okay,
Most
so
of
it's
my
after.
clients are like an hour away from me.
Oh, okay. So yeah, so there has to be it has you have to be compensated. Okay,
Yeah.
that makes sense. That makes perfect sense. Okay. So have you also think about what kind of partnerships you want to catapult or launch, or what are some other
I
partnerships?
have people asking me to vendor at events. So, for example, I will be a vendor at an event on Friday, and I'm doing 15-minute demo stretches for $20. It's reasonable, it's quick enough to catch your interest. People will see me stretching you and come over. I've done it before. I've been invited to some wellness retreats, just depending on my schedule. And as far as collaborations, I'm trying to collaborate with local gyms to offer it as a recovery option for their clients.
Okay, cool. Okay. And what would that partnership look like?
Maybe I go once a week at a certain time, and from let's say 5 p.m. to 8 p.m., I'm there offering 20-minute slots.
Okay. Okay. That makes
And
sense.
yeah.
Okay. So what I want you to do is for you to map out, we talked about the attention, the interest, the desire, the decision, and the action. I want you to map out exactly what happens and what are those touch points, and get that back to me, and let me know what happens at each of those stages, what kind of touch point it is, what is it that you're saying to these people at those touch points as well, because that's going to allow for you to create something that is streamlined and you're not always hustling to get the information out there, right? So it's just really about
Right.
having people like come into your ecosystem. They are and they're engaging with their content as well. Like you want to ensure that like it's content that is relatable and it makes sense for those people as well.
Okay, will do.
Okay. Any questions for me?
No, I think you did an excellent job explaining everything there thoroughly.
Okay. So do you feel confident in going ahead and building out your sales funnel?
Yes,
Okay. When are you going to get started on that?
I can start Thursday evening.
Okay. And what's the first thing you're gonna get? What's the first like mode of action?
I will kind of build out the awareness piece.
Mhm. Okay. How do you
Uh,
feel about the awareness piece? Like, what do you think is going to be the thing that is important?
Appealing to somebody's emotions. You know, I made a post the other day and it was like, do you wake up shoulders? Is your neck tight? Do you feel hunched over? Right? Because people buy the feeling or people buy you before they buy the product.
Right, right,
And they
right,
want to imagine themselves in that position,
right.
right? Does your back hurt after sitting all day?
Mm-hmm.
So I will kind of paint a picture of what most people struggle with.
Mm-hmm.
Um, and then provide the information that matches that and
Sure.
how stretching could help that.
For sure. Okay. Sounds good. All right. So map that out and send that to me in email and I give you some feedback on that.
Okay.
Map it out thoroughly. Like if I feel as if it's just something that you quickly jotted, like I'm not going to.
Mhm.
So make sure you spend some time really mapping it out in entirety, like breaking down what happens at each of these stages. Who is it happening to, right? And what is the goal at each of these stages as well? And that's going to allow for you to have a high converting sales funnel,
Okay.
right? So it's really about like getting people engaged with their content that makes sense for those people, but also just not just to have them like check out one or two of your emails, but like be on the lookout for like your email and the content that you're sharing as well. So you want to create some kind of rhythm or pattern around that. So that be it, they decide that every Thursday an email goes out at 8 a.m. Eastern Standard Time, and and it's something that they're looking forward to, and you create that kind of continuity and uniformity right across the board.
Okay. Yeah, instead of just choosing random days to send emails and
Right,
things
and
like
Thursdays do really well.
that. Okay.
Yeah. So like make sure that that email is going out every week and it's engaging. And you might want to also like test out, do some A/B testing, test out to see like different headlines, different types of content embedded. So whether it's like a video or, like a checklist or something like that. And create opportunities for people to engage as well. The more no matter how small the list is, right? Like you want to get the engagement as quickly as possible because I've had a client who built their email list to like thousands of people and then had to start all over from scratch because it's like people not engaging, right? So like if you can
Mm.
get that level of engagement early on, then you want to ensure that you're putting yourself in the position to create that connection with them and for them to be around for a long time as well.
Okay.
All right.
Awesome. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. So I'm looking forward for you to send that whole mapped out um
Yeah, I would say because I'm traveling the next few days and then I have those events. So Tuesday or Wednesday next week I can get it
Yeah,
out.
yeah, just send me an email with
So I
that
want to make sure I take time with it as well.
for sure, for sure, for sure.
Great.
Sounds
I
good.
appreciate this. Thank you so much.
You're welcome. If anyone were to join on this brief, what would be something you would tell them um, that they can hope to achieve from this brief?
How to really be intentional about your sales funnel and what that looks like. Yeah.
Okay, sounds good. All right. Thank you so much, Kayla. We'll talk soon.
Thank you. Have a good one.